Hey, good morning. I thought I would catch you really early this morning, pre-gym, and do sense number 20, which is a sense of taste. Now, obviously, the sense of taste is one of those senses that are one of the five senses that most of us are really familiar with, and we all know what it is like to taste food, for instance. But we talked a little bit yesterday about how taste can be influenced by smell, and taste can also be influenced by other things. The first of which being how clean you eat. If your body is used to a lot of salty foods, a lot of sugar, a lot of fats, then your taste is going to be different than if it isn't. So if you're eating a really clean diet and eating natural foods, your taste buds will sort of recalibrate themselves, and you will find you're enjoying things so much, and the taste of things, just simple taste of foods. And at this point, I will do shameless self promotion. If you haven't checked out my book, I Heart Raw, it's all about eating very cleanly. And if you don't want to do all raw food, which most people don't want to do, that's fine. But the more whole, raw foods in their natural state you can be eating, the better for your health. So before we go any further, go ahead and do your journaling for today. So taste is also influenced by what we're used to, right? I always remember this study done on rats, which obviously we're not rats, but we're mammals as well. And rats that grew up and were used to food in, for instance, an area where there was a Chinese restaurant, and they would eat the garbage from the Chinese restaurant, those rats would always prefer Chinese food if you gave them other options. So what we're used to, we know that's true for us too with so many of these things, with listening to music. We prefer what we're used to, what's familiar. So if you need to kind of recalibrate that for yourself or reinvent foods, for instance, that are on the healthier spectrum in terms of traditional foods you are used to, just kind of create them in a different way so that they're healthier, using more whole ingredients, for instance, that could bring you back into a healthier balance with your body. But yeah, we tend to prefer what we are used to, right? So taste is one of those senses that I think we get a lot of joy from. And I just want to use this sense to really advocate that we really want to be on a path of aligning ourselves with nature and nurturing ourselves with nature internally as well, with the food that we eat. So becoming just aware of what we prefer and looking at, is this because I have been socialized to like this taste in whatever way that shows up? Obviously, there are a lot of corporate interests in our food system, and so that means there are a lot of agendas out there that want us to eat certain foods because they are cheaply produced and can be marked up greatly. And if we're consuming a lot of those, people can make a lot of money, right? So there are a lot of agendas in the food industry, which is something I think we need to be aware of and to watch out for, and to really look at the foods that we prefer and why do we prefer them. Do we prefer them because really they taste good because our bodies are craving that nutrition that's in them? Or is it an addictive preference for Cheetos? Nobody's body needs Cheetos, but they certainly taste good if you're kind of socialized into that preference. Advertising, right, has so much to do with our preferences, and advertisers, obviously marketers, are very aware of this. So, and they count on us being not so aware of it. And even if we do have some awareness around that advertising shapes our preferences, it works on such a subconscious level that even if we have kind of conscious awareness of some of it, it still gets in, and it's so pervasive in our culture. So it's something we need to just really be aware of, and to notice, and to start really teasing that apart. What are real preferences for us, and what are things we've been taught to like? So we might associate. I had a conversation with someone the other day about Coke, and how we associate basically sugar water that's nothing but detrimental to our health, to sexiness, to athletes, to the good life, right? Any of these things, like tobacco, was associated for a long time, with women in bikinis, and, alcohol, same thing. So what are those things that we associate with taste that may not actually have anything to do with us in our natural state, and may be really detrimental, that we may be just wanting to associate ourselves and have this belief about ourselves because we drink a certain drink or because we eat a certain food, that associates us with maybe a certain celebrity or a certain kind of lifestyle. And those are things that are not real, right? They're not things that are here in the moment. They are not things that we're sensing with our senses, because if we really just take a drink of a Coke, it literally is sugar and water, and probably some other chemicals. None of which are beneficial, none of which have anything to do with bikinis or sports. And having been someone who was a commercial actor for many, many years, I will tell you, the people that do the acting, the people that are aspirational on TV, that are eating that product, aren't generally going to be people that are eating that product in real life. I can tell you I did for years before I sort of just stopped doing it, because I felt like it was too much not in alignment with who I actually was. But I would be the talking head for a product that I never in real life would eat, never, and that is just detrimental to your health. So I think just pulling that apart and kind of observing, our tastes and our preferences, and why those are there, is a really healthy and helpful thing. And then just getting back more and more to eating whole foods, eating foods that are in their natural state, eating foods that are not poisoned, aka organic, as much as we can do that. And that's becoming more and more affordable and more available. And if you can, growing your own food. I have on my little sun deck, I'm doing rosemary and basil and a type of tomato plant. What else do I have? Oh, and mint. And just having that little bit of just freshly grown herbs that I go out, Vivi and I go out and we eat mint in the mornings, and just having that quality of food in your diet and in your life is life-changing. So concentrating on nourishing your body with nature from the inside, paying attention to the wisdom of your body, paying attention to your senses. What am I feeling when I eat a certain food? How does my body respond? All of that is so much tied into this course and what we're doing, which is reconnecting with the wisdom of nature, with the wisdom of our natural bodies. We've become so socialized out of that for many other corporate benefits and other people's benefits. Start taking back your power, and food is a huge, important place to be doing that, because it has an immediate and a direct effect on your health and in the way that you experience the world, because food is one of those things that can numb you out, or it can bring more vibrancy and aliveness to your life. So I hope you have a wonderful, vibrant day. Don't forget to journal after you're done with this video. And this is one, like I said, check out my book if you haven't, because I talk a lot about this stuff. My book is actually called I Heart Raw, a how-to guide for reconnecting to yourself and the earth through plant-based living. So it really is about reconnection. It's about reconnection with your body and the earth and soil and all the things that we evolved to thrive with, which have been removed or degraded in our current food system. So becoming aware of all that is so important, not only to our personal health, but to the health of the planet. Have a wonderful day. Thanks for being here.